sound is nice. So I'm going to be giving you some good view, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Let's first put this one here. You know, I'm the cameraman. At the same time, I'm the producer. At the same time, I basically do everything. So I'm going to go inside the other house. 1 second to check if my sound is nice. Or you can put it in a comment and tell me how nice this sound is. Yeah. Let's first check here. 1 minute. Yeah. Let's see, let's put some sound. Let's put some sound. Nice. The sound is good. We are going to be talking about the power of social media. And if you're the type who thinks you don't have to be visible, it's very, very important to be visible. Don't worry. I had to go inside the house to check out the sound to see if the sound is really nice. We are going to talk for like an hour, yeah? Just 1 hour. And I want to say, how are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. It doesn't matter where you're watching in from. We started these lives a couple of days ago. And I wanted us to be sharing something. So what's how you doing? I hope you're doing fine. A couple of yeah. Sorry. I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. But one, I lost my stand got messed up. My stand got messed up. Oh, sorry. My stand got messed up. So I just fixed it. So what's how you doing? From wherever you're catching me from, Jose Andrew Anderson is my name. Once in a while we come and we have some chats. And just like how we always do it, you see, there is something that most of the people, I don't know, is it? Okay. Yeah, it has to be like this. Okay. What's how you doing? Jose Andrew Anderson is my name. Most of the times I want to be here. I want to sit here. I like sitting here. Also if I'm watching the other side. But today we're going to be talking about the power of social media. Most people don't understand how social media has really changed the way and you know the way of living and the life, and it has changed also the market. It has brought in new opportunities to people, and some of the people don't realize this. Some people are using social media, or you can call it internet, positively, and other people are using it negatively. And either way, it doesn't matter how you use it, it will always have that impact. Now, for the African countries, by the way, to be okay. So I think it started a couple of days ago. We've been having some kind of a mess up with the internet, and that is because we are using MTN internet. For the people who are using MTN internet, yesterday, I think it was yesterday, but one, even mobile money wasn't working. The last time we were working, internet went off. Again yesterday, power wasn't really that good. Power, electricity, it was on and off. So that's why we didn't work yesterday. But now let's go back to our topic. I was telling you about the internet and social media. Currently, in Uganda, to be specific, yeah, internet has, we are just at its introduction, yeah, introduction to internet in Uganda and social media. That's why we lack a lot of things like people, monetizing. And in Uganda, let me say for TikTok, it is becoming a little bit tricky because you have to have someone maybe who is in the US, because we don't have PayPal here. So again, when it comes to other creators, let me say creators of Facebook, people who create content there, still again, if you're in Uganda, it is quite a little bit hard, yeah, to monetize. You can monetize, but again, they pay through PayPal. Then from PayPal, then they get to put, your money in the bank. So I've noticed that 10 years ago, most of the people did not have opportunities, yeah. But right now, anyone can create their opportunity, because of the internet. And what most of the people are doing wrongly is that the intent or the intention of coming to social media, most of the people don't give it enough time. They don't know the main reason why they are on social media. I don't know, I'm a little bit dark. Let me increase some light, and we've got enough light. So most of the people don't know why they are on internet. You can come maybe to just have fun, which is also a good thing, just have fun. And again, there are other people who are intentional and they are using it positively. One thing I can tell you about social media or internet is that if you have, if you're intentional, and you're intentional, and you know why you join, because there are people who use it negatively or positively. So it just doesn't matter. But whatever you use internet for or social media, you can get discovered. And remember, there are those videos that they call the viral videos. Yeah, you can make a video and it goes viral. You can make a meme and it goes viral. But if you did not have clear intentions as to why you created your social media, it will end up disappointing you. Now, since I started by saying you are just having the beginning, the introduction of internet in Africa, to be specific, in Uganda, is because now people are using it, as I told you initially, people are using it maybe negatively, and there are those who are using it positively. But anything you post online, it stays there. And most of the people don't know because they live in a moment, yeah? Because you're living in a moment, you want to share with your friends, you want to find your hobbies and orgies. Some guys use it to vibe. Some girls now are using it, to sell their bodies. Yeah, so what they forget, because it is just the introduction, what they forget is that everything you put up on internet, it will always stay there. So, because it is just the introduction, years later, 5 years later, people will be judged according to what they posted or according to their social media, and you'll be judged to what you posted. As of now, because it is just the introduction of internet and social media in Uganda, and to be specific in Africa, so most of the people are using it for internet. So you can post anything today, and when internet or when these social media stay a little bit longer, 20 years later, 10 years later, you will be judged according to what you posted. So that's why it is very, very important to know what you're posting and why you're posting it. That is being intentional. If you look at how people are really handling it currently, it is basically for fun. People are in DMs, they are in inbox of people, and maybe just trying to vibe, which is also an okay thing because maybe you're entertaining yourself. I don't know why there is I don't have enough light, but here I think it is good. So people end up posting anything and they don't think there are repercussions, but everything you post currently, it will get to affect us or affect you 10 years later, 15 years later. As I told you, for the people who have been following, I told you that now in some countries, going to some countries, they check out your social media to see what you've been posting. To get verified, yeah, on social media, still again, sometimes they want you to verify maybe you're popular or you're a real person. So if you've been written about, let me say, on different websites, maybe it is in news, then they get to verify your accounts because now they know you're a real person. So now, in case, let me say you're into politics, and basically that's what you like doing on social media, it will be a very good thing, yes. But now it will reach a time, maybe you want to travel, maybe you've gone into an office and they don't really want to be attached with people who have been, into politics, and they've been verbal in politics. So before you know it, you might lose that opportunity. But still, again, you can be in politics and you want to get some opportunities, and maybe that organization or that community really needs someone who has been visible, and they talk about their countries, and maybe they want you to be into politics. So if you have that background of politics, and maybe you'll get that opportunity. So now, currently, you've noticed that the economy globally is really, really, really getting down. People are broke, people don't have money. So now, we used to have the malls. You can call them malls or supermarkets. Most of the people call uh, supermarkets malls, and yet they're just supermarkets. So most of the people are now doing their work from home. People are working from home because of internet. And the biggest impact on how it came about is when we went into lockdown nationwide. Every country, people were working from home. So after the lockdown, some of these things stuck with us, they stuck with us. So most of the people are now working from home. So instead of people going, to the supermarkets to go to the market, now people are ordering their stuff online. I had a guy who helped me, who was doing plumbing here. And I told him, "Are you on social media?" And he said, "No." And I'm like, it is very important you get on social media. It doesn't matter what you do. There is a guy that I follow up on TikTok. He sells bananas, yeah, bananas in a basket. And he posts his work. And currently, he met up with one of the popular people who are into, money handling, and that is Rakaruba. He's into real estate. And because this guy has been using his social media, I also know him, but he sells bananas on the streets. He vends. So he moves around, selling bananas. So it's important. It doesn't matter what you do, even if you're dealing with kids, even if you're a script writer, it just doesn't matter what you do, but it is important in this generation to be exposing the kind of business or whatever you're dealing online. But it is also very crucial for you to come the first time when you come, and you're being intentional, and basically why you go online. Some people just go there and just say anything they feel like they want. But as I told you, you will have to face the consequences at a given point. Do you know, in this generation we are in of internet, we are going to have like some of the rich people. I think it was Elon Musk. He said that we are going to produce more wealthy and rich kids currently because of internet. There are kids now who work, and they just love playing games, yeah, playing games, yeah, TV, those games, like the Xboxes, the PlayStations, and they make a living out of just them playing games. I keep telling people that, you know what, when you are online, it is back your life. Internet is really not doing me well. Ever since those things started in South Africa and people were trying boycott M10. I use M10 fiber, so it gets on and off, and that is really, really very bad. So I was telling you, it doesn't matter what you're talented in. Maybe you love kids, maybe you love singing, maybe you like playing ball. In whatever you do, let me tell you, there is a person who is a fan of that. So it just doesn't matter what you do. Most of the people are like, I want to go into training stories. I want to do something that, I will get numbers very fast. But as I keep telling you, easy come, easy go. So it's always very important. You get into something you love doing and you keep doing it. I've seen again on TikTok, there is a lady and she uses sign language. Yeah. She's, I think, deaf. So she uses sign language and she's on TikTok. But when she goes on TikTok, it is always sign language. And I've seen her sometimes when she's having, like, let me say, other 10 people who have come through on her lives. And there are like 10 of them, and they are all doing sign language and they are communicating and they understand their language. So it doesn't matter what you do. It just doesn't, whether you're into welding, you're into furniture, you're into farming, as long as you do it and you do it consistently, let me tell you, you get your people. Because now you imagine, I could be here like when we started off, and that's why I decided, and I'm like, we are going to be using English. We had someone, of course, who was watching last time. Someone was from Nigeria. We had someone from Zimbabwe. Physically, I think I've never met someone from Zimbabwe physically. But now there was a lady, and she was from Zimbabwe, but she was staying, I think, I don't know, in Japan. So that is the power of social media. So you have to be intentional when you come on social media, because what you portray is basically how you're going to brand yourself. How do you want to brand yourself? So that's why it's very important. You see, when Facebook had just come a couple of years ago, when Facebook was introduced in Uganda, most of the people used to go to the cafe, yeah, internet cafes, just to, make friends, and they could get friends, OBs and OGs. It was just a way of interacting with one person or the other. But the people who understood it better then they started advertising their businesses, and it really worked for them. So currently, if I wanted to come off, on and off, we are back again. Internet is not doing me right. I use M10 internet, yeah, M10 fiber. So it is on and off. But yeah, just stick around. So as I was still telling you, the people who understood it a little bit earlier, they started advertising their businesses online. Yeah. So as others came up to discover that internet is important, it just doesn't matter. You just have to come out, because right now, someone who is very good online, and they are visible online, they are visible on TikTok, Instagram. It just doesn't matter which social media you're onto. But I've noticed, yesterday I had a discussion with one of my friends. He's called Governor AC, and he told me a lot of things that I wasn't even, you know, giving attention to. But if you can be on all social media, if you can be on all of them, be on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever, just be there. Though you can always try to specialize and you're like, I'm going to stick mainly here, but you're supposed to be on all these other platforms, because that's how you're going to get discovered. I've made businesses when it comes to social media with different people out of Uganda and in Uganda. But guess what? How it happens? We talk, they first watch the video. After watching the video, then they will inbox. After inboxing, then we will have a chat, a video call, and we'll do business. So it's important in today's, because as I was telling you before the internet went off, someone who is very good at sales, yeah, will lose a job for someone who has visibility online. Yeah, that's why you're seeing right now people are no longer advertising on mainstream media, which is TV and radio. They are no longer advertising there, even in newspapers. Now they go to the kids who have basically numbers online, and then they will trust them and they will pay them. So currently, it's very important your visibility to be there. But how you have to use it is be intentional. I think I told this story some time back when I had a friend. She was like, I feel like I want to do something online. Most of the people, by the way, you guys, you're online, but you don't even know why you're there. Maybe you're there to vibe, girls are there, some of them to sell themselves, and they don't know these things will come back. Yeah, they'll come back to them. So it's very, very important. If you can sit down and think about it carefully, you will get to know the power of social media. The power of social, because right now someone could be in Zimbabwe, but again they are talking to someone in Mexico in current time. These things were not like the way they were before. Now we have AI, artificial intelligence, and the coming of AI. Yes, AI is good, but you just use it to help you into doing your simple work. It just helps you, but don't use it mainly, as because AI is also a little bit biased. Now, like the thumbnail you've seen, the one I've used now, the thumbnail I used, I got it through AI Gemini. Yeah, that's where I just gave it what I wanted, a simple script, then the thumbnail came through. I'm not good at doing thumbnails because sometimes I feel they take a lot of time. I believe in someone doing content, or discussing whatever they want to discuss, not because of a given thumbnail, but because of what they are going to get. Have you noticed that most of the biggest creators, yes, they give it time to make good thumbnails for someone to watch, but if the content is nice and maybe you supplement it with the thumbnails, then it will be doing you good. So the power of social media, it is very important. I told you a salesperson would lose a job to a TikToker or a Facebooker or a YouTuber. So it is important. The visibility has to be there. It just doesn't matter what you use your social media for, but you have to be intentional. Because now I've seen people get on platforms. Them days, by the way, before social media being up there, we used to have, news would come from the people. It goes on TV or radio or newspapers. Then from there, it could come on social media. Now, vis-a-vis is true. Whatever starts on social media. The people, the motivational speakers, the businessmen and businesswomen, now they are discovered through social media again to go on mainstream media. Most of the people now no longer watch TV because they want to dictate what they want. By then, mainstream media could dictate what you have to watch. They could play the music. They could give you the news. It used to dictate. You didn't have a decision. Now people have decisions. You can decide to stay here and watch, or switch and go watch someone else, or go on any other social media. You dictate basically what you want. So, as I told you earlier, is that if you discover what you are mainly talented in, if you're talented into something, or you're doing a given business, or you're into farming, or anything that you do that. Don't do something that will bring numbers very fast, because if you do something that will bring numbers very fast, yes, it will work faster because maybe it's a breaking story, or maybe it is a trending. But how to keep the people you are having is basically doing exactly what you want and you feel comfortable with, and it does not stress you. The numbers will be little. Yeah, you'll be having 10, 3, 5. But the more consistent you become, the more consistent you keep doing what you're doing, definitely the kind of people you want will come through. They will definitely discover you. Just like how I told you about that lady who does sign language. You imagine someone is doing sign language on TikTok and she's having over 100 plus people watching her, and the guests who come through, they are also using sign language. Even the fact they cannot hear, but they understand themselves when they do the sign language. So before you know it, they would have even their conferences. They would have, you know, something big again online. So it just doesn't matter. Me, what I always keep telling people is that do whatever you're doing, just be consistent. Be consistent and just don't look for numbers that you want numbers. No, me, I don't believe in, maybe buying numbers or telling someone to promote. No, 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 it's not needed. Do what you're doing. Just be consistent. Keep doing it. The people, let me tell you, like me, I like putting on capes, yeah. But if I manufacture capes or I make them using hand, yeah, handmade, if I keep recording that, there will be someone else who also likes, accessorizing, or they also like, making capes. So you see now you're building a community of basically the people you need. You're not going to find people who love shoes, but you're going to specifically get the people who like, making capes. So don't be quick to get numbers. Don't be quick, because I know if right now I wanted to make a video and it goes viral, I would do something that is trending or something that is breaking. But again, when someone comes and they watch that video because you did it because it was trending, if you don't make another one which is trending, then they will not come. But again, if you create your community for what you really want to get, now me, I want to sit down once in a while. I chat with my friends, but again, spend time with my son. Basically, when we are cooking, maybe when we travel, simple things. Why do I want the simple things? Because I can maintain that. But if you go into a niche that is stressing, when you do whatever you do, it will be exhausting you. It will make you tired. It is like doing a job you don't like. Yeah, you would find someone. Let me say they are given a gig to act and they will go into acting, but it will exhaust them. It will make them feel tired because basically they don't love it. But now someone who just loves acting, whether they are paid or not paid, they're like, I would go for that role. Now, because it is not stressing to them and they're doing it for passion, when it starts paying off, it's like they are not working because you only go to work if you go do something that you don't want. But there are people who are like, now, when I used to work on TV, I used to be like, but these guys are not serious. Basically, I come here, I talk for 30 minutes, and then they pay me. I was like, this is crazy because I didn't take it as work. In school, of course, I used to debate, I used to do a lot of stuff, just talking. So now someone is paying me for me to talk. I was like, this is good. I'm going to be doing this. So it is the same thing. Online, make sure you have visibility there. It just doesn't matter what you do. And if you create a community, even if there are 10 people, because initially we used to do politics, yeah, here at BCM Uganda. We used to do, of course, where we started from, the interviews that I used to do, celebrity interviews, artist interviews. Then again, I started going in the field. Then we used to do a couple of things. Then, politics came through. Then we did politics. But for some reasons, because I didn't want to be directly associated with politics, I never used to put a camera in front of me to talk politics. Why? Because I didn't want to be directly attached to politics as me. You get the point. I wanted more of me and the things I like to talk about, and then my son. It was intentional. So now most of the people, you go onto your social media and then you post something. Maybe you react, to something, but you don't know why you've done it. You're doing it because everyone is commenting, and then you also come and comment, but you're not having clear intentions. But if you have clear intentions why you are online, let me tell you, it will pay off. And don't rush it. Take it slow. Yeah, take it slow. Take it slow. Because then there you will get the real community of people that you really need. Now you imagine someone who is into real estate and maybe they are selling houses and they are selling land and they stick on one niche, selling land and houses, selling land and houses. There are those who are selling cars. You stick on that. Even if something comes up trending, don't do that because now you'll end up mixing your people. I have friends who told me, Anderson, I would have started up another channel. Yes, that is true. But if I stick on this, because I was doing politics, now I change into lifestyle, which some of the people are like, will it work? Yes, it might not work immediately, but if you are consistent and keep doing what you're doing, it will definitely work. It will bring in the kind of community and the kind of people who like what you're doing. So you just have to be consistent. But visibility, it doesn't matter, by the way, how old you are, whether you're 70, 80, 15, 16, you just have to put your visibility there. The only thing which is crucial and important, be intentional. Be like, I'm going to do this video. Why am I doing it? Know the reason. What is it that I really want to benefit out of this video? And if your intentions are right, even if you get 10 people, those people will understand you and basically they would have come to get that kind of information. So, in a nutshell, visibility online is important and it is very crucial. It just doesn't matter what you do. I had some friends who were saying that, I'm not popular. So if I'm not popular, if I put up content, people will not watch. That is impossible. The way how internet works, I told you, you could be very, very popular in the world today on this, in the world, you're popular, in the country on TV because of your music. But that doesn't mean if you're popular, you'll be popular on TikTok or Facebook or YouTube or Instagram. There are people or YouTube. There are people who understood how it really works and it worked for them. Because now you see guys who make, like, let me say, comedy skits. Yeah. So in real life, would have someone who is good at comedy, but that is stand-up comedy where people sit and watch. But again, online it will be different. So there is no being popular in real life that will definitely make you popular on social media. No, no, it doesn't matter. You've seen people put up videos and they go viral, and surprisingly, they are in the village. No one knows them, but because they did a meme, they did a reel that people really loved, they will definitely know that person. So it doesn't matter whether you're popular in real life, that will definitely make you popular online or on social media. It doesn't work like that. These are two different things. And even these social media handles, there are those which will work for someone, and again, that someone could be very good, let me say on TikTok, but you tell them to go on YouTube and it will be very hard for them. Why? Because TikTok has its advantages and its disadvantages. So you cannot go and be everywhere and be perfect. Because now for the people who love TikTok, the numbers are always very crazy on TikTok. You come and then you do stuff and then you're up there. So with again YouTube, it's now different. That on YouTube, you have to give it time. Yeah, you have to give it time. You have to be consistent. They are the same things, but different versions of how this content has to be packaged. Yeah, a short video will really work very nice on TikTok, but if it comes to YouTube, it will be different. You get the point. So that's why me, I'm more conversant and I'm very okay on YouTube than again TikTok for some reason. You get the point. Then again TikTok, given the fact that if you go on TikTok, numbers will raise up very fast. But I would rather have, a given crowd, because TikTok is more of a vibe and it's more of, trends, which is not really on YouTube. YouTube, it needs patience, it needs organization, it needs preparation. And then these other social media like TikTok, you don't need a lot of preps. You don't need a lot of preps. Anyone can come through just like that. On YouTube, it doesn't work like that. You cannot just come from anywhere. Yeah, the same with Twitter. It is still the same. So the most important is have your visibility there. If you feel it is maybe very hard for you to be on all the platforms, at least choose one. But your visibility and this thing they say age, like this one is very old, you're not supposed to be on TikTok. It doesn't work that way. If you're into farming, it doesn't matter whether you're 60 or 70. Basically, you want to give out your knowledge. So be very, very crucial what you watch and what you put up on social media, because as I told you that we are in the infant stages of internet. So most of the people are doing mistakes that they are not realizing that at a given point, these mistakes they did are going to affect them. Because do you know what it means for someone to judge you because of what you post? They judge you and they take you because of the kind of lifestyle you put up on social media. So that's why it's very important to be intentional at what you do. Be intentional, know why you're doing what you're doing, so that at the end it doesn't impact you in a wrong way. There are people who have portrayed themselves to be, let me say, bad boy, a bad girl, but you reach a time and you want to change it and it is hard. There are those people I think who opened up Facebook when it had just come through, and now you lost the passwords. You cannot remove the pictures that you put up there or the videos that you put up there, but now you lost the password. You feel like that account has to be deleted, but now you can't, and that information stays there. Do you know that even when you go in Google now, like me writing Luze Andrew Anderson, it will even bring in my social media handles. And if someone really wants to understand the kind of a person I am, they don't have to ask for a CV. They'll go into your social media and see what you've been posting even 10 years ago. And you will be judged according to what you've been posted. So don't be wrongfully judged. Be intentional. You get the point. Be intentional. You can have the numbers, but then you have the numbers for the wrong, and that will not just go away. Getting something off internet is kind of crazy. It is really hard. And now because we are just millennials into this, we are using it wrongfully and minus knowing. And that time when we really want to get off, then we could be doing it's impossible. I've seen someone, I think it was there's a lady who was talking and she was saying she used to be very crazy and putting up a lot of stuff, on internet. She was a lady, so if I say she was putting up a lot of bad things, you can get to know if it's a lady, what is it bad that they will be putting up online. And now her kids have grown, yeah. They are 11, they are 12, they are 15, and now they are asking, "Mommy, is this you? Why were you doing this?" And now she went into depression and she was feeling bad and she was regretting the choices she made as she was online because she wasn't intentional. By that time, it could work. But now, since the kids are grown and she cannot delete those things, and if you go in Google, you'll be seeing the pictures and the videos. And now she's regretting. She went into depression and went into anxiety because of the wrongdoing. So it's important. I'm telling you, each video you do, each comment you put up, each post you make, just be willing, like, even if it comes back 10 years later, I will be proud of what I was posting. So that is very, very, very important. You have to be intentional. You have to be intentional because if you're not intentional, it will definitely affect you. You get the point? So, but you have to be visible. You have to be visible. You have to be, because currently, as I told you, you can find a graduate from the university who has graduated, let me say, into carpentry. They have graduated, they are good at carpentry, but because they don't have visibility, they will not get jobs. And someone who has only experience and visibility online and they keep showing what they do and they are showing you how they are good at carpentry, how they are good at making tables and dining tables, and then how to make beds, and then they will get more gigs and they will make more money because they are visible online than you who is so professional and you're super talented at what you do, but because you lack visibility. That's why right now the most important thing to do is to learn communication. Communication, it sounds easy, everyone can talk, but it doesn't mean that they are communicating. Communicating is way different. It's like listening. Someone who is listening and someone who is just hearing. Those are two different things. So there are people who communicate and there are people who talk. So learning how to communicate, it just doesn't matter. You could be good at farming, but you don't know the skills of communication. That is the skill I think right now everyone should adopt if you want to be online. Learn the communication skills. Give your time, give yourself time. Look at yourself in the mirror, communicate. It's very, very, very important. And as I told you, internet is like, it's a global village for starters. But internet is just like how we are in real life, how we portray ourselves, because right now people can be discovered. You can imagine, we know people in Germany, we know people in Jamaica, we know people in Nigeria, and we've never met them, but we can see even what they've eaten, we can see what they are doing, we can see. So that's how connected we are because of internet. So don't be there and be known for the wrong reason. Be there and be known for the right decision. So that's why reacting badly, towards other people's content, posting things, and you're just in a mood of doing that. That has to stop, man. Think about it very carefully. At least have little numbers, yeah. Have small numbers, but when those small numbers basically know what you do, you get, they know what you do, and when they want you, they will look for you. But you just don't be online because you want to be online and then you want people to see you, but you're there for the wrong reasons. It just doesn't make sense to be known. You know, It's like being it's like being a stupid person, yeah, or you're a fool, yeah, and you do stupid things, yeah, and then the whole of the country knows you for the stupid things you do. That is really bad. But you rather have a small circle of people who value the important things you do. You get, who value the important things you do. So why have all these numbers and your videos go crazy for the wrong reason? So you're a national fool because you want numbers. It just doesn't make sense. You want numbers, but now what if you want to use those numbers? They cannot even trust you. It is basically 1,000 people who watch you and they take you for a fool, and none of them can even associate with you, but you have the numbers. So what is the essence of really having those numbers when those people know you for a fool? You rather have small numbers and those people value you for the right reasons. You get basically what I'm saying? Yeah, that is very important. They basically know you for the right reasons, because some people would be like get into fights to get numbers, but now you're having the numbers for the wrong reasons. And then people will be there and they will be praising you because you're doing a lot of foolish stuff. Get literal numbers. Be consistent. I told you, a girl does sign language. She's deaf, but she's on TikTok. She does sign language, but she's doing okay. She's having a community of people who are all deaf and they do sign language. I'm telling you, that is way beautiful than getting, like the people who really undress online. Why would you go that low because you need 2K people to be watching you? But they are watching you, yes, and you have the numbers, yes, but for the wrong reason. Why do you get those numbers for the wrong reason? Don't. Don't. Then there are those who fake numbers. They buy the views. Why buy the views? Be original. Be original. Be consistent. You see, with the coming of AI, now all these other social media are fine. You will do a video of AI and it will be watched. But now people are missing what we call a human touch. People want to see someone sit and talk to them. They want a real human being. So that's why most of the AI generated content is being removed from social media. Yeah. And if you know the vision, by the way, there is nothing, even if it is knowledge, people would come and watch you for knowledge and people will come and pay you for knowledge. Just don't go fast. Be patient, be consistent, do basically exactly what you want to, and it will definitely pay off. It will. Let me tell you, there are a billion of people globally that in whatever you are doing, there will be that one person, two persons, three of them, five of them who would like basically what you do, and not for the wrong reasons. Because if you're known for being a fool online, no one is going to pay you to help them, give them a service if they know you're a fool because of the kind of content you put up there. So the kind of content you put up there, be intentional. That is very, very important. Be intentional. Know basically what you're doing. That at one point, the videos you made will not come against you. You get what I'm saying? They will not come against you. You'll be proud of them. And what I really love so much, when you get discovered, then people will start, scrolling to see the older videos. When they see one, then they will scroll to see the rest of them. So what is it that they are going to find? You get, so getting there first isn't the thing, but getting there genuinely and for the right reasons is the thing. You get. Yeah, we always do this. I told you we're supposed to be doing like 2 lives. We do one in the morning, we do one in the evening, then late night we also do one. I got a little bit busy and we didn't work for like a couple of days, but at least we are back. We are back. And I really like it so much that I'm seeing the direction where I'm going. I'm really being appreciative. And for the people who always come through and watch, and maybe those who comment. It's always very beautiful, by the way. But we are building a community. I told myself, me, I'm giving this 1 year. But after talking to my friend, whom I told you, Governor S, we always work on Sunday on his TikTok. And he told me stuff even about, Facebook. And I was like, wow. And these social medias are now paying, by the way. They are now paying some money. And if you are intentional, why would you really go in whatever you're talented in and then you go for a job where you're paid 450 Ugandan shillings? In that, whatever you are doing at work, then what if you start doing it at home and then record videos? Whether you take pictures, take videos, take notes, do much of all those things because someone out there is following. Sometimes even people follow minus even telling you they watch, but they don't say a thing, but they follow. And you'll be surprised. I have a sister of mine, first she's into cooking and then, reading the Bible. And at one point, she thought she was not watched. And she got so surprised when she went at her kids' school, and then the teachers knew about her cooking. And she was so, so, so surprised. Some people don't leave comments, yeah. They will not leave a comment. They will not put up any sign that they follow and they've been watching. But at the end of the day, if they watch, it doesn't matter whether they comment or they don't comment. The truth is they watch, and that's basically what you want. You want people to watch, yeah. Whether they show that they've watched or not watched, at least you want them to watch, and that's what basically we are all looking for. You get. So, guys, visibility, online visibility is not something we'll say that this is childish. I cannot be online. Those are for the kids. This thing is no longer for the kids now. You know, the rich people, if the likes of Bitature, if the likes of Sudiru, if all these rich people are now going in on social media and they are talking to the young youths, then who are you? If they are already millionaires, if, Mark Zuckerberg is already a millionaire, already the first billionaire here, he's now the first trillionaire. If they still need that visibility, then what of us who are just starting off with life? We need it even more than them. That's why he went ahead to buy X. That's why Trump also decided to start up a given social media. That's why Kanye also wanted to start up his own streaming music, social media. So it's important. Your visibility is as equally important. But anything you do, I honestly see that young man who sells bananas and he tries to put up some quotes, when he's having his bucket of, his sack of, bananas, and he says something. I know him, and maybe you also know him, but because he is trying to be visible, and there is no age towards this. If you look at politics, everyone is looking for visibility, but be there for the right reasons. What is it that you want to be known for? Basically, that's what you have to always keep putting up, not just being there and people know you. What is the use of people knowing you and, they know you for the wrong reasons? So you have to be careful. You have to be intentional, at what you do. Let me get some water here. So that is very, very, very important. Very, very important. That's why people are having studios. Some people, they introduced this thing, yeah? This is a new thing. This never used to be there. So now they made water to have these handles like this. This is a good concept. So, in a nutshell, you need social media, whether you like it or not, and you're supposed to be visible. You're supposed to be there, but be intentional, because someone will open up TikTok and they basically don't know what they want to do, and they will have numbers, but they can never change those numbers into money. Why? Because what they are doing is basically being random. Today they are into this, they are into that, they are into this. They are not being intentional. Be on social media, but be intentional. Be known for something. Don't mind the numbers that, I did a video, it's only having 100 people. Yes, it is okay. It is only having 10 people. It is okay. Don't get scared, because now if you're intentional, so basically every video you do, that person who keeps coming back, those are your people, those are your clients. So don't get frustrated because you need numbers. You will need numbers and you'll do something stupid and you will get the numbers. But those numbers will get, they'll be knowing you for the stupidity which you do online. Yeah, there are people I look at and they use really aggressive words and you're like, why are they even online? But in some way, maybe they get money in a given way. But don't be known for the wrong reasons. No, no, no. Don't be known for the wrong reasons. Be known for what you stand for. And through there, you imagine you have 10 people who believe in what you do and they are willing to pay for your services, but you only have 10. And again, you're having a thousands and you cannot sell nothing to them. What is the use of now being on social media, really? What is the use of all these big numbers? So me, as I talk to my friends and they are like, we should have opened up a new channel, we start afresh. Yes, but this is BCM, this is my channel, this is where I started from. So why do I let it? Because I went into politics? No, I will be consistent. I will keep doing what I'm doing until the right people come through. So that's why most of the time when people unsubscribe, I feel very good. I'm like, oh God, thank you very much. Why? Because now I want that audience of politics. Because now, truthfully speaking, I left politics and I left politics for good. Why? Because it wasn't me in the camera. It was always, about what people wanted, which was a good thing. But now it reached a time. Now I have my son. I have to also be visible. We have to eat. He has to go to school. All these other things. So now 7 years, as I was off, it was intentional and it was calculated. And I knew in 2026, we are going to change. Now I will start coming in front of the camera. Now I'll start sharing my stories with my people. Then it was calculated. But now, why would I still be behind and I don't bring out my face and then I'm promoting someone else? So now, the people that you don't need, if they leave, that is way better, nice. So that now you have the right number of people, the right community of the people who really want basically what you do. Because right now, I would go front a person. Let me say we do an interview, but I'm fronting them. Am I promoting me? No. So now I was like, this will be hard, yeah. But that is how it is going to be. Not until I get my people. You get? Because now I would be on a bike going somewhere to do interviews and it is all stressing. So I wanted something I would do and it is giving me peace. Sitting and talking here for 5 hours, I can do that in a peaceful way. Then again, having to have transport, I have to travel. You have to work so hard. So there it drains you. And remember, I told you, you have to do something that doesn't drain you. You have to do something on social media that doesn't drain you. You do it and you feel like, I'm just wasting my time, talking to my friends. Yes, but don't do something that will drain you. Because now you imagine there is a press conference and it is in town, yeah? It is at the Uganda Museum or it's at the National Theatre. And now where I stay, very far in the hills, then I have to leave, put in transport, go, because now that person will get me numbers. Yes, the numbers will come, but those numbers will come because of that person you've been with, but it is not because of you. When I was doing politics, I could make some money. I could make like up to, let me say, okay, 10 million, 5 million. But I wasn't feeling contented because I felt that is not me who has done it. It is because I'm fronting someone different. But I would be very comfortable making $100 and I know I was the one in front of the camera and everyone who watched, they watched because of me. So giving me 100 million, and basically it wasn't me in the camera, and giving me 1 million, and it was me in the camera. I would go for the 1 million. Why? because now I can budget for that 1 million. It won't be that if there is no an event, I will not make money. If there is no concert, I will not make money. If there is no chaos, I will not. Now, I will still make it, because now here you're in control. You can control it. If you know, like, let me say, if someone was paid, let me say, every hour you work, they give you 100,000. So now it is up to you. Every hour you work, they give you 100,000. It is up to you. So because it is you, you'll be like, no, today I feel like I need 500,000. I'm going to work for 5 hours. You see the comfort. That is the comfort I really needed. And now discussing people, yes, you would get the numbers, but discussing people in a negative way, it will get you numbers, but the numbers will be for the wrong reason. So my man, my guy, my brother, my sister, go on social media. But before you even open up that YouTube channel, that TikTok, first think exactly what is it that you want. How is it that you want to impact others? When you learn that, then do it. And because you're doing something that doesn't really, it's like people who work abroad and someone comes to give you their experience working abroad or studying abroad. They will tell you the story. They will tell you that story even 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and they are telling you how working abroad is really hard or easy, or how you can make, a career. So now you see, it doesn't hurt them. It's not like, they can do it a billion times. But because now you're doing something, now, if I started up farming right now and I'm not very good at it, it will be draining me. Why? Because I'm not very good at farming. So I'll have to look for people or talk to people. No, 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 no. I felt like we did that. And because now I want to spend much of my time with my son, I was like, I'm going to share my experiences, me and my son, social media, and how we live off grid. And that is okay, because it's not draining me. Yeah. It cannot drain me. And that means I can make videos almost every day. But now, if you're doing something that you're not, now it's like me starting to review cars and I don't even have a car. But now I'm doing car review. So that means I have to go to people, beg them, please help me, let me work here. But now you see how it is draining. But you can preview stuff you can easily get access to. So that's why it is very, very important. Your visibility online is 100% needed. You have to be there. I told you they would give an influencer money if someone is into fashion and they put on clothes, they change clothes. And the other thing is to stick on one thing. That is very important. Stick on that one thing. Now I told myself, I'm not going to change to open up a new channel. I'm going to stick on this one. I see how definitely it will work out. I'm giving it 1 year. So I want to look up after 1 year, because even right now I do the reviews and I notice that, guess what? I'm getting hours, the hours are getting there. So that means if you keep doing it, the hours will multiply, multiply, multiply. So your visibility online is important. And the reason why some people start and stop and fail or they feel drained is because they are doing something they don't want. It's like doing a job you don't like, yeah? If you're a border person, yeah, you ride borders, but you don't like riding them. Definitely, it will drain you. You will do content today, tomorrow you don't work. Why? Because you feel like you're investing a lot. But when you're doing something you're conversant with, yeah, just sitting here and talking for the next 1 hour, I can talk till morning, by the I can talk from now till late. Why? Because it doesn't drain me. And I'm talking about the things I love, the things I like. You get? But your visibility online is very, very, very crucial. Very crucial. And even if you don't get numbers, that is okay. Why? You're building something. So you have to have a strong foundation. Yeah, a strong foundation that you started with 3 people, then you went to 10 people, then you went to 11 people, then you went to 20 people. Those people who come and those who like basically what will you do, they will definitely stick. they will definitely stick. So because it was an organic thing and you built it over the years, so these people you're having will be your community. But now, if you give them something like trending or breaking story, they will come to watch, and they would have watched because of that. Now I have a friend, she covers concerts, music concerts. She's called Glosh, yeah, on YouTube. But if there is no concert, then she's not working. So that's why it's very important for you to be, the focus should be on you. Because if the focus, if you build a platform and it is focusing on the other people and not you, then it is a little bit hard. You know why? Because minus the concerts, if there are no concerts, she will not work. Not until there is a concert, then she will work. But now you imagine if it's you who puts a camera in front of you, it doesn't matter whether there are concerts, no concerts, I will come and I talk. You get, if I'm going to cook, we will cook together. If I'm going to clean my bike with my son, we will do it together. So I don't need any kind of event to happen for me to work. That's why I was like 7 years I gave to politics. It was really worth it because what we wanted, we did it. President Bobby Wine, of course, people got to know about him. Did we get the results? Yes, we got them. But now, as for me, that time had to end, and I start fresh after 7 years. So 7 years I've been behind the camera. 7 years. So now after 7 years, I'm now in front of the camera. I'm back again. And in those 7 years, I've tried really to study. Let me tell you, someone who has 10 people, watch them, is way better than someone who does interviews because they watch them because of the people they brought. So that means minus the people they brought, they would not have the viewership. So it is important you come first. You're the brand. You're the brand. And don't mind the numbers. Don't mind the numbers. Most people are taken away by the numbers. Now there are 3 people watching. If I felt like 3 people are very little, let me stop this live, then my intent will be dying out. So these 3 people, I will tell them what I want, and the videos will stay there. There are other people who watch these videos when they are done. That is also another beautiful thing. But now I want to be known for me. They will say, Jose Andrew Anderson was here, he said this and this and this. So don't mind the numbers. Don't mind the numbers. And if you want to go far, yeah, make sure you put the camera in front of you. And the more little people who come and they are organic, the better. Because if you have blossoming numbers and they came because you put up a video that you got randomly and you cannot duplicate it, you cannot make it again and again and again. So you see a big number, but they don't even watch because they watched because of what you put up that they like, but they did not like you. Yeah. So we've talked 1 hour and 5 minutes. Always put up comments, by the way. I always react on your comments. Always put up comments. In case you want my number is always in the bio. My number is there in the bio. My number is on some of the lives that I do at night. You will see, if you go watch other videos, you will see when I'm in studio, when I'm seated in studio, my number is always there. We can always support each other. Now I wanted a community. Now I want a community. I want people, we can build a community. Now it's no longer, we have to be intentional. We have to be intentional. That's why when I had my friend and he was saying, Anderson, no, you go to the do this, go do those interviews. No, 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 no. I changed. I can go do them, but now that's not what I want. Because I stay with my son, who will stay with him if I'm going to do those interviews? So we'll be having them, yes, but with friends. It won't be a do or die. You get the point. So your visibility, by the way, if you haven't understand this video and maybe you came through a little bit late, watch it from the beginning. You will get inspired. You will get inspired. You have to be in front of the camera. And there are people who have become so addicted that they want a camera in front of them, which is good. Because the more you put up yourself there, the better. Because someone who has watched today at this time is not going to be the same person who might maybe watch at night because of the differences in time frames. Yeah. So it's important, put yourself out there at all costs. I'm telling you, put yourself out there at all costs. Just be intentional, be calculative. Know why you are on social media. Because if you don't know why you are on social media, you're going to do random things. And if you do random things, they will not pay off because you're just there for fun. Be intentional. I'm intentional. That's why I sit here and I talk. I can do interviews. I can do a lot of things, but I just tend not to do them. I have my reasons. I'm being intentional. And after 1 year, then I will go and I review how it has all happened. Maybe I stay, maybe I give the people basically what they want. So it's been an hour when we are here. I want to say thank you very much for watching. I'm going to be calling it a wrap. Jose Andrew Anderson is my name. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It doesn't matter where you're watching in from. So until when we catch up at night, I want to say bless ya.